You block it.
Sadiq, can you hear me? Yes.
Hola, designer,
Check. Sadiq.
Yeah, great. That's all about
Kuka.
we just finished seeing BP and we know that a lot of issues concerning Kogi, but on top of it all is the issue of reconciliation. How far have you gone reconciling with all parties in Kogi?
Thank you very much. Kogi State, like you all know, was largely divided before now, and upon assumption of office, up till the last general election, I've been making every effort to ensure that there's a reconciliation and bringing everybody on board. In fact, that was what resulted into the massive victory of the last general election. I think all the leaders and the stakeholders in Kogi State have been called on board to come and support the new direction administration. So we're moving on very well.
Your Excellency, some
Yep.
people have made some write-ups tagging the President of the Federal Republic as a dictator. What's your take on this kind of comments coming out?
Mr. President is the most democratic president I've ever seen. This is the first time we're seeing a former military head of state so democratizing to the extent that he is even allowing things that happen in his home front to be democratized, not to talk of only that of the country. So whoever is tagging him to be a dictator, I think that person, wish to be a dictator himself, not Mr. President.
The issue of security was also of concern to security advisor who said unthinkable was to have happened in Kogi. What's your take on that?
Well, when you talk of unthinkable, I think first of all that particular caption, Mr. NSA General Mongono must have been quoted out of context. I can say that because the last general election reflect the wishes and aspirations of the people. When you say unthinkable happening in Kogi State, yes, of course. My coming to power from the very onset, unthinkable happened and God brought me on board. When you talk of unthinkable, yes, of course. This is the first time the so-called minority is going to contest an election in Kogi State and won with this wide margin. That is unthinkable. Unthinkable because this is the first time we are bringing the whole citizens of Kogi State and downing and reducing the tempo of ethnicity in Kogi State. Yes, unthinkable because this is the first time we are running a very transparent and digitalized government where we are raising a lot of revenue, blocking every loopholes. Unthinkable because this is the first time a governor is appointing a chief of staff from a different ethnic group. Unthinkable because this is the first time after 28 years a Muslim governor is building a chapel in Government House in Kogi State. So there are a lot of these good unthinkables, but NSA must have been misquoted out of context.
Your Excellency, the National Bureau of Statistics, the recent reports of the corruption index in the country rated your state as the most corrupt state in Nigeria. What's your reaction to that, sir?
Please look and read the details of that particular report before you can judge. You see, we shouldn't just listen to somebody and then misquote him out of context. Like I said, Kogi State, before now, civil servants, before you become permanent secretary, you must pay through your nose before you become permanent secretary. Here, this time around, it must be merit-based. Before you become local government chairman, or through the political, let's take it political. If you take it from the political aspect angle of it, I am the leader of APC in Kogi State. No single person obtain form or become whatever he is today and will say he claim or he's claiming to have paid one dime to any political leader. That is out of it. It is out of blocking the loopholes and leakages that we're able to raise the revenue of Kogi State from pittance of 300 million to over 1 billion on monthly basis. If you look at the percentage, then you can just suppose that by yourself. So if anybody is saying that Kogi State is the most corrupt person, I think that person may have his fact wrong. That is the way I can put it. Kogi State is the most prized state today in Kogi State. And it is out of fighting corruption as well that we are fighting insecurity in Kogi State, because the little resources we have, we are so managing it that we are developing the state and also fighting the insecurity. If corruption is that prevalent, then that wouldn't have happened.
What will be the focus of your government in this second term?
In the second term, we're going to be human capital-based development, and we're going to continue on the infrastructure and continue on the trajectory that we are in now, and ensuring that Kogi State is taken to the next level.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Majority.